Hello again, everyone. We are back with another outdoor conversations. So we've talked so far on these outdoor conversations about fishing, about portable power stations. So now we're going to talk about portable heaters. I know that might be a very weird conversation piece, but I think this is super important, especially if you're going to be doing some winter camping. So if you're crazy like me and some of my friends, we love to go camping during the winter. Uh, Winter camping just has a different feel to it. It's very peaceful. There's not a lot of people usually out and about. Uh, Usually the trees are dead, so you can see so much more than what you can during like the summer and spring and stuff like that. But with that winter camping comes cold weather, right? So you're not always going to be able to get lucky, especially you live up north or central like U.S. It's usually going to be pretty chilly during winter. I'm coming to you on a early December day, so it's not quite officially winter here in Kentucky just yet. But this weekend has been very much a wintry feel. I got here, the first night I got here, it was about 25 degrees. It got down to about 20 that night. Last night, actually. It's supposed to be warmer tonight, but still going to be in the 30s. So, you might be wondering, so what are we going to do about keeping warm, right? Well, here's what I'm doing right now. I'm in my camper. So, I run a generator to I have an electric heater in the camper. I run it till quiet hours, which is around 11 o'clock. Shut that off, and then switch to the good old propane heat. And you might be thinking, hold up, are you running a propane heater inside your camper? What about fumes? That is the great thing about Mr. Heater here. The Mr. Heater propane buddy actually is so awesome about not creating those propane fumes that you get from some things. It actually has in a built-in sensors to make sure if the propane fumes get out too much, it'll shut itself off. It also has a sensor if it gets knocked over, it'll shut itself off. So super awesome, and I can vouch for it does work. We've knocked it over before, and yes, it shut itself off. We have used this thing in tents, and I've been using it in this camper. So when 11 o'clock rolls around, it got shut the generator off. I switch over to the propane heat during what I call sleepy time. So that way, I stay warm. And this thing is, it's great. So it runs on, as you see here, the little green propane bottles that you can buy at Walmart or pretty much anywhere. These things have gotten a little expensive, but they're still not too bad. I can usually run, so if I run this thing on low power, so low heat, I can usually get through the night through about about 1.5 bottles roughly is about what it takes to run it on low. Now, if you jump it up to high, you're probably talking about 2.5 to 3 bottles. I ran it on low last night, and it kept me plenty warm. I actually had to turn it off at one point because I was roasting in here. But super awesome again, and kind of like the portable power station I mentioned in a previous video. I am not endorsed or sponsored by Mr. Heater, Portable Buddy, whatever. I just like to talk about these certain things because if you're going winter camping, there's a lot of gear. You've really got to make sure you got what you need out there because it gets cold. And one, you don't want to get hypothermia. You don't want to get sick. And you got to make sure you're bundled up and that you have everything you need to stay safe out there. This thing is a huge game changer. It's not expensive. I think it costs around $80 at Walmart. I'm sure you can get it on Amazon as well. I'll drop a link down to it in the description that way if you want to grab one for yourself. But I highly recommend this heater. Obviously, you're not always going to have electricity where you go, especially if you're camping out in the middle of the woods like we do a lot. So having this thing is a huge game changer. Yes, you've got to buy a lot of these propane tanks, but it's worth it if you got to stay warm while you are out in the blistery cold weather. Especially if it gets down to like 20 degrees outside. If you're in a tent, this thing is going to save your life, man. We've been tent camping several times where we had to use this thing. It was literally snowing outside. That's how cold it was. This little thing was the only thing keeping us warm. Like, if we didn't have this, we would have froze to death, probably. Well, we probably would have packed up and had to leave because it was just way too cold. But this thing actually kept us alive. We were good, comfortable, very warm out there. So definitely recommend, if you're definitely winter campers, or if you're thinking about doing some winter camping at some point, which I highly recommend. It's very fun, it's very unique, it's very different. You might want to grab one of these heaters here to have with you. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Another episode of Outdoor Conversations. If you did, make sure to drop us some thumbs up on this video. Make sure to drop some comments down below. Let me know what you thought about this. They do make a bigger version of this. This is the smaller one. So go ahead, grab you one if you want. And then, of course, smack that subscribe button if you'd like to see more of our conversations. And until next time, guys, keep it real.